A disciplinary situation occurs at what appears to be a religious institution or school. A young person is being reprimanded for starting a fight over a book that was snatched away. The authority figure expresses frustration about giving repeated lectures and compares the troublemaker to their brother, suggesting a pattern of misbehavior. A conversation between religious authority figures discusses how to handle a challenging student. While one wants to continue helping, the other suggests they can't neglect other students. They agree to address the situation in the morning. Meanwhile, someone is attempting to sneak around and reach a window. Two brothers reunite, with the older one confronting the younger about getting into trouble. The younger brother reveals he fought because someone was trash-talking about their parents. The older brother advises learning to laugh off such comments rather than fighting. The brothers engage in some risky climbing and parkour moves across rooftops and buildings. The older brother guides the younger one, offering encouragement and support. They navigate various jumps and obstacles together, showing both skill and brotherly bonding. The older brother reveals he has acquired a motorcycle and has news about finding their mother's belongings. However, he also discloses he needs to leave town for work for about a year. This upsets the younger brother, who feels abandoned and wants to go with him. A confrontational scene develops involving some hostile interactions with Spanish-speaking individuals. There appears to be tension and threats exchanged, leading to some physical altercations and tough talk between the parties involved. The scene shifts to what seems to be a prison setting. Someone is being led through various areas while handcuffed. A discussion ensues about a historical pirate named Captain Henry Avery and a massive historical heist involving gold and jewels worth $400 million from a ship called the Gunsway. The scene begins in an old prison where someone needs to climb up to investigate a cell. There is some playful banter about not breaking their neck while climbing. They gather some equipment from under a work table by some crates to help with the climb. After locating the prison cell, they begin navigating up through the structure, impressed by the sturdy Spanish construction. The prison once held dozens of pirates awaiting execution. The climb continues upward as they search for Burns' cell, which turns out to be more like a suite than a typical cell. Inside Burns' cell, they discover intriguing symbols including alchemy symbols for gold and silver, zodiac signs for Sagittarius and Scorpio, and mysterious numbers and scratches that seem significant. The symbols match ones previously seen on a letter. After examining the cell, they make their way back down, having to be careful with their descent. They encounter Vargas, who wants a cut of whatever they find. The situation becomes tense as they negotiate terms. In a more private location, they examine their discovery, a hollow wooden crucifix with gold and silver inlay. It's not actually a crucifix of Jesus, but of Saint Dismas, the penitent thief who was crucified alongside Jesus. This connects to a cathedral of Saint Dismas in Scotland, where Avery was last seen. A confrontation breaks out, leading to a tense situation with Vargas. After some negotiation, they agree to give Vargas a 25% cut of the potential $400 million fine. However, the situation remains volatile, with implied threats. The group needs to escape quickly and heads toward a lighthouse where a boat awaits. They navigate through the prison complex like a maze, avoiding guards and searching for an exit route while trying to protect their valuable discovery. During the escape, Sam gets into trouble while climbing a wall. Despite attempts to save him, Sam falls and is left behind, presumed dead. The others are forced to continue their escape without him, leading to an emotionally charged moment. The scene shifts to an underwater exploration where someone is searching for wreckage. They discover pieces of their target and locate cargo crates, though they're missing 2 from their count. The exploration continues as they plan to retrieve the remaining crates. A search operation is underway to locate and secure 2 crates. The The first crate is discovered, but found to be pinned beneath a trailer. The team decides to secure the other crate first before lifting the trailer to access the trapped one. Working efficiently underwater, they manage to locate and secure the second crate in the trailer. The team above sends down a sling to help lift the trapped trailer. Carefully looping cables around the trailer axes, they coordinate to raise it enough to access the pinned crate underneath. With precise teamwork and clear communication, they successfully lift the trailer without any mishaps. With both crates now retrieved, the diver straps in all cargo securely. The operation is completed with 5 minutes of oxygen remaining. Rather than risk staying longer, the diver requests pickup. They attach to the sling and begin ascending, feeling relieved to be leaving the river despite now smelling like fish. Back on the surface, the team helps retrieve gear and equipment. There's some lighthearted banter about the nearly empty oxygen tank. The successful recovery mission wraps up with all items accounted for, though there's some complaints about having to still use paper forms instead of computers. The team examines their recovered items, discovering valuable copper materials. Despite the successful mission, disappointing news arrives about losing an upcoming Thursday job due to being underbid. While some want to celebrate at a bar, the main diver opts to handle paperwork and head home instead. A contact appears with information about a potentially lucrative wreck off Malaysia. Despite the promising financial opportunity, concerns arise about missing permits. The job is declined due to legal risks, though the contact insists on leaving the information for consideration. The scene shifts to a more personal moment, reviewing mementos and memories from past adventures. Various collected items spark nostalgia about previous missions and old companions. These items represent significant moments from an adventurous past life that seems distant now. The setting moves to a domestic scene where a couple discusses their day over dinner. They talk about article writing and garbage salvage work in the river. The conversation reveals a tension around a potential job in Malaysia that one partner thinks should be considered while the other remains hesitant. The evening winds down with a playful challenge involving a video game called Crash Bandicoot. There's amusing banter about game mechanics and character design, with good-natured teasing about skill levels and gaming abilities. The scene ends with friendly competition over cleaning duties. A casual conversation takes place, with short exchanges about feelings and actions. The discussion feels tentative and probing, with one person encouraging the other to keep talking and share their thoughts. The tone is informal and somewhat hesitant. A tense interaction occurs at a closed establishment. Someone arrives looking for their brother, leading to an emotional reunion between Nathan and Sam. Sam reveals he survived being shot and was imprisoned. Nathan is shocked, having believed Sam was dead despite making calls and checking everywhere. The brothers catch up on lost time. Nathan shares wild adventures, including a derailed train incident in the Himalayas and finding Sir Francis Drake's empty coffin with a journal in Panama. Sam seems skeptical about Nathan walking away from these discoveries empty-handed. Nathan mentions being married to Elena. Sam reveals his connection to Hector Alcazar, a notorious drug lord who was his cellmate. A flashback shows their prison interactions, where they discussed ambition and treasure hunting, particularly Henry Avery's legendary fortune worth 400 million in jewels and gold. An intense prison break sequence unfolds with Alcazar executing a planned riot. Chaos erupts as doors are opened and violence breaks out. The escape is dangerous and chaotic, with gunfire and urgency to move quickly through the prison. After the escape, Alcazar makes a deal with Sam, 3 months to find Avery's treasure or face deadly consequences. He provides directions to the nearest town and warns Sam against trying to hide or go to authorities, threatening worse than death if betrayed. Back in present time, Sam explains the situation to Nathan. They discuss a new lead involving the St. Dismas cross, different from one previously found in Panama. This intact cross is going up for auction at the heavily guarded Rossi estate in 3 days. Sam proposes stealing the cross, but Nathan initially refuses, saying he doesn't do that anymore. He suggests other people like Charlie Cutter, but Sam insists he needs Nathan specifically, citing the time pressure from Alcazar. Nathan eventually makes a call, seemingly preparing to take on the heist. While observing a manor, a storage building is spotted behind it. There is discussion about focusing on retrieving Avery's cross rather than exploring the storage room. A debate ensues about keeping the mission simple versus considering alternative approaches. Concerns are raised about Sullivan potentially getting cold feet or being caught during the auction. The plan involves him schmoozing through the party to unlock an upstairs window. Despite past incidents of double crossing, there is strong trust in Sullivan, who is considered family. 2 people are exploring Italy together, with one having been there multiple times before on jobs with Sullivan. The atmosphere is tense, but that adds to the excitement of taking in the sights. The pair practices rope swinging and climbing techniques to reach different areas, showing off their skills and playfully competing with each other. They work together to navigate beams and structures. They encounter armed security and discuss whether bringing weapons would have been wise. One insists the operation will go smoothly without them. There is reflection on missing simple pleasures like fresh citrus and motorcycle riding. A reunion occurs between old associates, including someone who hasn't been seen in 15 years. They discover Avery's cross has been moved in the auction order, complicating their plans. The group needs to create a diversion. A plan forms to cut power to create darkness as cover for grabbing the cross. They realize they'll need to be close to the target when the lights go out, before emergency power kicks in. They devise a scheme involving posing as waiters. An encounter with Nadine Ross, who owns a private military company called Shoreline, creates tension. Despite past conflicts, she appears cordial and offers to buy a drink. The team proceeds with their plan while monitoring this situation. The group searches for the kitchen and waiter area to execute their disguise plan. They discover unexpected security and locked doors, forcing them to find alternative routes through vents and storage areas. While navigating through wine storage and ventilation systems, they use a lighter for illumination. The team discusses concerns about their associate chatting with Nadine Ross, though there is confidence in his ability to handle the situation. A tense scene unfolds as 2 individuals navigate through a building, discussing a cell tower and power room. They work together to boost each other up and traverse obstacles, showcasing their physical capabilities and teamwork skills. Communication issues arise as they lose contact with someone named Sully. The pair makes their way through the wine cellar, heading toward the power room. They encounter locked doors and use creative solutions like climbing through windows. Dressed in formal attire that feels slightly uncomfortable, they maintain a light banter while staying focused on their mission. The scene shifts to a conversation about past adventures involving horses and carrots. An interesting dynamic develops as someone discusses a former partner named Drake who has apparently settled down and got married. This revelation sparks some sarcastic comments about marriage being equivalent to death. At an upscale auction, discussions revolve around valuable artifacts and potential rigging of the bidding order. The atmosphere is tense as various parties size each other up, with hints of past relationships and current rivalries emerging. Someone warns about bidding on Avery's cross, suggesting serious consequences. The action moves to the power room, where someone searches for circuit breakers. Meanwhile, there's increasing pressure as Rafe appears to be winning an auction for a valuable cross. The situation becomes more urgent as the team needs to act quickly to prevent losing their target. The auction reaches a climax with intense bidding, reaching €500,000. Just as the final bid is about to be accepted, The power goes out, causing chaos in the venue. Security scrambles to respond as someone attempts to make off with the prize. An intense confrontation occurs with Nadine Ross, involving hand-to-hand combat and witty banter. The fight showcases both physical prowess and quick thinking as they struggle over possession of a mysterious artifact, the crucifix. The action intensifies as multiple parties navigate through the building, trying to reach the ballroom while avoiding security. Communication between team members becomes crucial as they coordinate their escape route amid growing chaos. The escape plan unfolds with increasing urgency as the team tries to rendezvous at a fountain outside the ballroom. The situation becomes more complicated as traffic jams block the planned exit route, forcing quick adaptations to the escape strategy. The cross is empty, bearing only an inscription in Latin, Odea mecum eris in paradise, today you will join me in paradise. The discovery of Avery's insignia suggests deeper implications for future adventures. A fascinating discussion about religious symbolism begins with a reference to Jesus' words to Saint Dismas on the cross. The conversation shifts to analyzing some mysterious numbers, 1659 and 1699. These turn out to be significant dates, marking the birth and death years of a historical figure named Avery. The revelation comes that the search is focused on finding Avery's grave at St. Dismas Cathedral. While someone named Rafe has been searching the cathedral area, ancient Scottish gravestone symbols suggest the actual location is in a separate graveyard some distance away. This totally changes where the search should focus. A tense discussion erupts about the risks of pursuing this quest, as Rafe, backed by Nadine and an army, poses a serious threat. However, the potential discovery of an epic pirate treasure proves too tempting to resist. The motivation seems split between finding treasure and helping someone named Sam. The conversation takes a personal turn, addressing complex relationship dynamics and past events. Someone expresses concern about keeping secrets from Elena, while another person defends the decision to pursue this dangerous mission, believing it's ultimately necessary despite the risks involved. The team observes that their competitor Rafe has concentrated forces around the cathedral, leaving the graveyard relatively unguarded. This presents a perfect opportunity to explore the real target area without interference. The mission begins taking shape as they prepare to pay respects at Avery's grave. Background details emerge about the Scottish cathedral site. The location, though seemingly odd for buried treasure, makes strategic sense since it was abandoned by the time Avery would have arrived. The massive bounty on Avery's head made this remote spot an ideal hiding place. The team encounters evidence of excavation equipment belonging to a group called Shoreline. This discovery leads to a tense situation requiring quick, evasive action. It becomes clear that their presence hasn't gone unnoticed, and their competitors are expanding their search beyond the cathedral. After navigating various obstacles and encounters, they finally reach St. Dismos dormitory, believed to be Avery's final resting place. The search focuses on finding a specific grave marked with particular symbols, crossed cutlasses, a skull and crossbones, and specific dates from 1659 to 1699. A breakthrough occurs when they discover Benjamin Bridgman's grave, recognized as Avery's alias. The unusual positioning of the skull symbol leads to the discovery of a hidden crypt behind a secret door, suggesting this might be where the treasure is concealed. Inside the crypt, they find religious imagery featuring Jesus, Saint Dismas, the penitent thief, and Gestas, the unrepentant thief. A clever light-based puzzle mechanism reveals additional clues pointing to crosses visible from the crypt, potentially indicating the next destination in their treasure hunt. A tense situation unfolds as the group realizes they must head back toward the cathedral where Rafe awaits. This creates anxiety since it's a dangerous path they hoped to avoid. The situation becomes more complex when communication issues arise and there's talk about going to check on someone. Someone managed to escape by being thrown from a 5-story window and surprisingly survived. The group discusses not underestimating their opponents, while also being careful not to overstate their capabilities. The conversation highlights the dangerous nature of their mission. The group determines that Avery's treasure is located beneath a high cross near the cathedral. They communicate with Sully, asking him to keep the engines running while they investigate. The treasure appears to be closer to the cathedral than initially thought. Despite attempts to evade pursuers, the group realizes they'll face increased resistance as they get closer to the cathedral. They work together to navigate obstacles, using teamwork to boost each other up and create paths forward. They discover an ancient pulley system that wasn't built by monks, suggesting it was used to transport treasure. This discovery leads to some risky climbing and cliff-breaking incidents, showcasing the dangerous nature of their expedition. As a storm approaches, the group continues their exploration. They encounter unstable structures affected by previous explosions and must carefully navigate through dangerous terrain while avoiding detection. The team finally reaches their destination, a mysterious cave that appears untouched by their rivals. Inside, they find creepy statues of Saint Dismas and carved stairs, confirming it's a pirate cave. They discover an intriguing door with a handle. Inside the cave, they find an inscription about paradise awaiting the worthy and grim fate for the false. They discover evidence linking the Rhode Island pirate Thomas II to Avery, adding a mysterious new dimension to their treasure hunt. The group carefully crosses unstable bridges while discussing the possibility of Thomas II working with Avery. They ponder why Avery would involve another pirate in hiding his treasure, considering various theories about their partnership. The explorers overhear a conversation between Nadine and Rafe about excavations under the cathedral. There is tension between them regarding methods, Nadine's aggressive approach versus Rafe's desire for careful analysis of clues. The discussion reveals competing priorities in their treasure hunt. There was a discussion about stealing a valuable cross from an auction. Though the auction seemed like the cleanest approach, this strategy led to unexpected competition. The original plan to steal it before the auction might have been better. Now, with rivals in play, a more aggressive approach may be needed to find the treasure. The group needed to move quickly to prevent the treasure from being destroyed. There were concerns about someone named Rafe potentially trying to draw them out, though this was dismissed as unimportant. The focus shifted to locating the next area to explore. The team encountered various obstacles while exploring, including areas too high to reach without assistance. They used crates and ropes creatively to progress through the space. The architectural complexity suggested significant effort went into constructing these passages. A jeweled cross was discovered, but it was recognized as another test of greed rather than actual treasure. After carefully examining coins and symbols, they found a map pointing to Kings Bay. This revelation was frustrating as it meant another location to search rather than finding the actual treasure. The group was confronted by armed adversaries who had been tracking them. A tense standoff occurred as they discussed the significance of Kings Bay and the cross. The situation quickly escalated into a dangerous pursuit involving gunfire and explosions. After narrowly escaping, the team discussed their next moves. They realized Avery had created an elaborate recruitment system for trusted pirates. The theory emerged that multiple wealthy pirates may have pooled their treasures together, making the potential find incredibly valuable. A phone conversation revealed attempts to cover up the true nature of their activities, claiming weather and equipment issues rather than admitting to treasure hunting. The timeline was extended by several days to continue the search. The team began planning their route to a volcano in Kings Bay using old-fashioned maps rather than unreliable satellite signals. They identified various structures, including abandoned outposts and watchtowers that might lead to their objective. The exploration led to discovering a hidden cave behind a waterfall, adding to the adventurous nature of their quest. The team discussed past experiences in Kings Bay, including previous encounters with local contacts, though these connections were no longer accessible. Two people discuss a past connection and mutual worldview. One moved to Brazil years ago, and they haven't seen each other since. They casually discuss possibly reconnecting and visiting. The conversation shifts to crossing a bridge, expressing caution about maintaining control and staying centered while traversing it. The group spots a tower on a hill in the distance. There is discussion about their vehicle choice, specifically getting a 4x4 with a winch, despite lacking proper suspension. Some debate the necessity of the winch for potential off-road and muddy conditions. They proceed cautiously up steep terrain. They theorize about pirates like Avery and other captains potentially using this location for protection from British authorities. Upon reaching a tower, they discover it connects to Christopher Condent's era, suggesting pirates may have used these towers as lookout points, though the exact purpose remains unclear. The group marvels at a spectacular view, contemplating how pirates might have chosen this remote location to escape oppressive government control and live freely. They discuss the complex navigation routes pirates used to reach this area, sailing from England to Brazil and across to South Africa using basic tools. They encounter military personnel investigating an old colony outpost. Their only route to the volcano goes directly through this occupied area. They devise a plan to handle the situation, maintaining stealth and following one person's lead to avoid detection. They discover references to Adam Baldridge, a historical figure known for running Kings Bay, who had a reputation as a traitor and slaver. The infrastructure left behind by the pirates shows signs of decay. They continue navigating through the area, using their winch to overcome obstacles. Discussion turns to Nadine, a mercenary working with someone named Rafe. They consider negotiating with her, but conclude it's futile since she prefers upfront payment. They notice shoreline forces getting closer to the volcano and debate whether the treasure has already been found. One person shares their prison experience, describing how they passed time reading history books, particularly about Avery and pirates. They attempted to communicate through a sympathetic guard, but were caught by the warden, resulting in severe consequences. The group reaches a high vantage point overlooking Kings Bay and the river valley. One member expresses disbelief about their current situation, comparing it to a dream after their time in solitary confinement. They maintain focus on their mission to find their objective. They discover another tower with a drawbridge, suggesting it protected something valuable. They find a sigil connected to a Caribbean pirate named Bonnie. The group works together to overcome obstacles and access different levels of the structure. The situation becomes tense as they encounter hostile forces. They spot a rental car belonging to their adversaries and hear orders for their elimination without warning. A confrontation ensues as they try to evade detection and proceed with their mission. An intense action sequence unfolds with characters encouraging and reassuring each other during what appears to be a dangerous situation. Despite the chaos, they manage to maintain their composure and help each other through the predicament. One person mentions needing therapy after this experience, though they were previously joking about not having a therapist. The group transitions into exploring a location in search of treasure. They work together to access a hidden area, being careful with their movements and looking out for potential hazards. There's clear excitement and anticipation as they make their way through the space. A Upon reaching their destination, they discover significant historical artifacts related to pirate captains, including Avery, Thomas II, Adam Baldridge, Joseph Farrow, and Richard Want. The location contains various sigils and symbols that seem to form a map. They realize the significance of a trapezoid representing a volcano and a crown marking Kings Bay. The search continues into a market area where a tower is located. A humorous interaction occurs with a lemur stealing an apple. The mood lightens briefly with discussion about getting a dog in the future. They then begin looking for ways to access a locked tower discreetly. Inside the tower, they discover an intricate mechanism involving zodiac symbols and bells. They identify 4 signs, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo, corresponding to 4 bells that need to be rung in sequence. The complexity of the tower and its clock mechanism creates additional challenges. The group works through the challenging task of ringing the bells, leading to some intense moments with the clock mechanism. Their efforts result in unlocking various parts of the tower, though the process is quite loud and potentially dangerous. They discover more historical elements, including coins and references to pirate partnerships. The investigation reveals complex puzzles involving star patterns and sigils of various pirate captains like Avery, Thomas II, Adam Baldridge, Anne Bonny, and Christopher Condent. The exploration continues with the examination of paintings and additional star patterns that need to be aligned. The group works together to solve these mechanisms while appreciating the historical artwork. They maintain communication with others who might help identify the historical figures in the paintings. There was discussion about a ship called the Pearl and speculation about finding a literal pearl. A short casual conversation ensued about examining some historical artifacts and sharing knowledge between the participants. Several historical pirate figures were identified, including Edward England and Yazid al-Basra. There was also a Moorish pirate whose identity remained unknown. The group noted one pirate appeared noticeably younger than the others. They managed to identify 2 out of 4 figures. The group discovered what appeared to be clues related to trade winds and latitudes. They found something labeled Proteus Codescentia, which seemed to be a significant revelation. Photos were taken of the discoveries to aid in solving the mystery. A tense conversation occurred with someone named Rafe, who had tracked their location through GPS. Rafe made an offer to back off if they abandoned their quest, which was declined. This led to urgent warnings about incoming danger and the need to destroy their phones. A dramatic chase sequence began through crowded areas as they tried to escape their pursuers. The action moved downhill with increasing intensity as they navigated through various obstacles and dangerous situations. After escaping, they decoded Proteus Codescentia as for God and Liberty, which was connected to Libertalia, a legendary pirate colony. This utopian settlement supposedly housed thousands of pirates who shared resources in a common treasury building. A confrontation erupted when Elena discovered the truth about the Malaysia job and the real mission involving Avery's treasure. This led to relationship tension and revelations about a brother's 15-year imprisonment and rescue. The team reflected on their journey while heading toward their destination. There was discussion about relationship problems and whether the adventure was worth the personal cost. Some uncertainty about proceeding was expressed. Upon reaching their destination, they found it smaller than expected, but confirmed they were in the right location. They began searching for man-made structures and evidence of the pirate settlement. The exploration led to the discovery of information about Burns and his grandson, revealing they had followed similar clues, including finding a hollow cross in Panama. This confirmed they were on the right track in their treasure hunt. The journey begins with preparations to explore what appears to be a man-made structure. A tower is spotted in the distance, prompting the search for a way up. Along the way, they discover stairs leading upward and come across an unfortunate sight, a skeleton, possibly of a pirate from long ago. A small cave reveals an intriguing massive chamber sealed behind a door. Speculation arises that this isn't the main treasure location, as someone with such a big ego would choose an even more elaborate and well-protected spot. The group makes their way to an old lookout tower to survey the area. A fascinating discovery is made: mysterious compass arrow symbols that seem to point in specific directions. Following these arrows becomes the next objective, as they might lead to something significant. The symbols appear to create a trail that needs to be traced. The remains of an old ship come into view. Questions arise about whether previous explorers found any treasure, though it's deemed unlikely since such a discovery would have become famous. More evidence of the crew's fate is found, including another skeleton tied to a mast. A massive, ornate gate is discovered, showcasing the builder's extravagant style. The main entrance is blocked by centuries of erosion, forcing the search for an alternate route. The architecture resembles that of St. Dismos Cathedral, suggesting possible religious influences. An incredible discovery is made: a room filled with supplies, tools, and most importantly, blueprints. These documents reveal details about pirate captains gathering around their leader, writing a code of conduct, and planning what appears to be a massive undertaking. A detailed diorama depicts city streets, suggesting this was a staging ground for planning a larger settlement. The evidence points to the construction of Libertalia, though questions remain about whether the ambitious project was actually completed. A trial involving rotating symbols leads to the revelation of statues depicting various pirate captains. Notable figures include Bonnie Baldridge, Albazra, and others who played significant roles in the historical events surrounding the treasure. Through a spyglass, a significant island is spotted in the distance. This could be the location of Libertalia, marking a potential breakthrough in the treasure hunt. However, the excitement is cut short by the appearance of hostile forces. The situation turns dangerous as the group gets separated during an attack. Supply boxes are discovered but found empty. The journey becomes increasingly perilous, with treacherous paths and unstable structures to navigate. Things started off pretty rough when discovering Burns' crew had no luck finding the treasure either. There was a tense reunion between two brothers, with one narrowly avoiding getting shot. Despite being stranded with limited supplies in a remote location, they debated whether to secure boats first or continue pursuing the treasure hunt. A heated argument broke out about the mission objectives. One brother insisted on finding Libertalia to buy back his life, while the other expressed doubts about the existence of the pirate colony. The discussion revealed 15 years of complicated history between them and different perspectives on what was at stake. Finally, discovering Libertalia was a major breakthrough. The legendary lost pirate Utopia was found after 300 years. The commercial district included guard towers and various buildings. The brothers shared a proud moment, though one mentioned it wasn't his first lost city discovery. Exploration revealed fascinating details about daily life in Libertalia: a blacksmith forge making cutlasses, a rowdy tavern, and evidence of trade. The brothers took a moment to reflect on their life choices and whether a normal life would have suited them better than chasing ancient treasures. The investigation continued through various structures, including a prison, which seemed ironic for a pirate settlement. They discovered maps of the commercial district and treasury location. However, their exploration was interrupted by encounters with hostile forces called shoreliners. Signs of an ancient battle became apparent. Cannons, barricades, and bodies in fancy uniforms suggested a conflict between colonists and soldiers. The treasury building showed evidence of someone attempting to make a withdrawal, though the nature of the conflict remained unclear. The discovery provided crucial clues. They found Libertalia currency bearing Avery's symbol, indicating the treasure had been melted down and minted into new coins. Evidence suggested the colonists were trying to reclaim what they believed was rightfully theirs. Portraits of Libertalia founders were marked with the word thief, suggesting deeper betrayals within the pirate utopia. Upon exploring an ancient site, it was discovered that pirates had already moved the treasure before colonists could find it. A map revealed they relocated it to New Devon, named after Avery's hometown in England. The map showed several massive mansions, each with its own unique symbol marking where the pirates lived. To get a better view, they decided to climb a watchtower. Using some clever maneuvering with a chandelier, they made their way up the tower structure. Though the stairs were surprisingly intact, they had to carefully navigate their ascent to reach the crow's nest at the top. From the watchtower vantage point, they spotted New Devon just across the river. While planning their route, which would take a couple hours, they were suddenly ambushed by armed forces. This led to an intense chase and firefight as they tried to escape. A confrontation occurred with Nadine, who acknowledged their superior treasure hunting abilities but refused to join forces. Despite attempts to negotiate, the situation escalated into a physical altercation, with both sides refusing to back down. The tension reached a breaking point when Rafe arrived with armed backup. A tense standoff ensued with multiple guns drawn. The situation became more complicated when it was revealed that someone had been dishonest about their backstory and motivations. A shocking truth emerged about prison escape stories being fabricated. It turned out there was no dramatic breakout, just a simple bribe to the warden. This revelation caused serious trust issues between the treasure hunting partners. The scene shifts to exploration of a massive estate. The team carefully entered through the back, since the front door was inaccessible. They began searching through the enormous property, looking for specific research materials and documentation. Inside the estate, they discovered valuable artifacts, including what appeared to be a Ming Dynasty vase. Further exploration revealed numerous sarcophagi from different historical periods, including Roman and Etruscan pieces, making the place feel like a private museum. The mood lightened as they discussed dream travel destinations, including India, Soviet Union, England, and Brazil. While examining artifacts, they came across various historical pieces, including fertility totems, showing the extensive collection housed within the estate. In a grand dining hall filled with artifacts, comments were made about the impressive size of the table and speculation about lavish parties once held there. The room contained various historical items, including French jousting armor, a Southeast Asian dragon dome, and navigation instruments like compasses and sundials that were crucial for maritime survival. A first edition of a general history of pirates was discovered, though its authenticity was questioned. The room also contained classical music items and an impressive collection that someone had apparently tried to purchase but was refused. A Tokugawa clan samurai artifact was identified by its distinctive hollyhock crest. Upon finding locked rooms upstairs, an air vent was used as an alternate entry point. A Polaroid photo was taken during the exploration. The smaller person managed to climb through the vent and found painkillers and coding materials, but no sign of the sought-after journals. The search was interrupted when they were caught by an elderly woman who initially threatened them with a gun. The situation changed dramatically when she realized they were Cassandra Morgan's children. She revealed she had been their mother's employer and fellow researcher, particularly interested in theories about Sir Francis Drake's heirs. The elderly woman offered them their mother's journal, suggesting they might complete her unfinished work. However, the encounter took a tragic turn when police arrived and the woman experienced a medical emergency. Despite wanting to help, they were forced to flee. A tense escape ensued as they evaded police through the property, using various routes including chimneys and dumpsters. They successfully managed to lose their pursuers after a dramatic chase through the surrounding area. After escaping, a pivotal conversation occurred where they discussed starting new lives with fresh identities. The suggestion was made to adopt the surname Drake, inspired by their mother's research about Sir Francis Drake potentially having heirs. This decision marked the beginning of their life as explorers and adventurers. The story continues in the present, with additional characters joining to plan a rescue mission to the northern side of an island called New Devon. The mission involves saving Sam, who is being held by someone named Rafe. The existence of a treasure and someone named Alcazar are revealed to be fabrications. A conversation begins about Henry Avery and his incredible engineering achievements, including a massive elevator system used to move supplies upriver. The treasure being sought is worth 400 million and involves 12 founders. The mission seems straightforward, but indicates complex historical significance. The team works together to navigate the challenging terrain, using teamwork and problem-solving skills to progress. Despite some close calls and risky jumps, they maintain their focus on reaching their objective while dealing with the ancient infrastructure. The intricate water wheel system powering the elevator demonstrates the advanced engineering capabilities of the pirates. Discussion reveals previous expeditions to Scotland, though there seems to be some tension around full disclosure of past events. Details emerge about Rafe Adler and Shoreline's motivations. Rafe seeks glory beyond his inherited wealth, while Shoreline, led by Nadine, hopes to rebuild their reputation after failed ventures in civil wars. Their partnership combines Shoreline's muscle with Rafe's money. Questions arise about Sam's delayed contact after prison, suggesting he gathered intel from Rafe before leaving and fabricated an Alcazar story. The team continues working with the elevator machinery, hoping it will accommodate their vehicle. The group successfully operates the elevator system despite its age, though they remain cautious about potential disasters. They discover signs of previous occupants and prepare for possible confrontation with adversaries. Upon reaching a higher vantage point, they observe the breathtaking views of Libertalia. A serious conversation unfolds about communication in relationships and the importance of working through challenges together rather than shutting others out. An intense sequence follows with a dangerous bridge crossing that leads to a near disaster at a waterfall. Quick thinking and teamwork help them narrowly escape, though they lose their vehicle in the process. The exploration continues as they discover disturbing evidence of historical events. They find arranged corpses suggesting a mass grave, indicating the colonists met a tragic end rather than finding their promised utopia. The team reaches Avery's neighborhood, finding it in severe disrepair with evidence of intentional flooding. They spot signs of Sam's survival and prepare to navigate the dangerous territory while watching for shoreline forces. The scene opens in Christopher Condon's house, where a dangerous situation is unfolding. A dragon-like threat is present, and the brothers are leading pursuers on a chase. The situation seems tense as they try to avoid detection while navigating through the house. The group encounters strong guards and carefully makes their way through lower levels. Despite being tired, bruised, and wet, they continue pushing forward. They decide to cut through a house to progress, noting the unusual flooding patterns that might be connected to Avery. While exploring, they discover beautiful architecture and retrofitted cannons, suggesting improvised defenses. The colony's flooding patterns seem strategic, particularly around specific houses. They encounter various water obstacles and help each other navigate through the challenging terrain. Upon entering Thomas II's mansion, they discover evidence of a deadly gathering. The scene reveals that pirate captains who founded Libertalia met their end here. An invitation from Thomas II on behalf of Lord Avery had called for unity under the banner of God and liberty. The truth emerges about a massive betrayal. Avery and Thomas II poisoned their fellow pirates at a grand toast, claiming all of Libertalia's treasure for themselves. This shocking revelation shows how some of history's greatest pirates perished instantly at a single table. The exploration continues into Henry Avery's ostentatious house, where evidence suggests shoreline forces had previously barricaded entrances. The group follows muddy footprints, noting the strange absence of shoreline personnel, leading to an unexpected ambush situation. A crucial letter from Avery is discovered, revealing plans to move treasure through a secret passage to his ship. The letter indicates Avery's betrayal of his fellow pirates and mentions the destruction of a dam to cleanse New Devon. Following clues including a dropped lighter, they discover a hidden passage activated by a clever mechanism involving a bloody fingerprint on a map. This leads them into Avery's panic cave, where they find evidence of recent activity. The group enters a macabre chamber filled with gruesome displays of hands that allegedly stole from Avery. The passage contains dangerous traps, including explosives and collapsing structures, showing Avery's paranoid determination to protect his treasure. The trail leads through areas with voluntary mummification and more deadly traps. They encounter fallen enemies who weren't careful enough with Avery's defenses. Despite the dangerous obstacles, they press on, following footprints and hoping to catch up to others ahead. While exploring an ancient area filled with deadly traps, a key was discovered along with some mysterious symbols. The key appeared to be from two to his men, providing instructions on how to navigate safely through the dangerous passages. The environment was quite creepy, with hanging bones and other ominous decorations scattered about. The symbols found on the key matched markings on posts throughout the area. This revealed how two's men were meant to bypass the lethal traps. Moving carefully and following the symbol's guidance, progress was made through the treacherous space while avoiding various death traps Avery had set up for intruders. A dramatic chase sequence ensued through dangerous passages with barely any time to think or plan. The adrenaline was pumping as escape routes had to be found quickly while being pursued. Some playful banter and pranks between companions helped lighten the intense situation. Gunfire in the distance indicated Sam was still alive but in danger. A massive ship's graveyard was discovered, revealing the scale of Avery's destructive actions. The group needed to find a way down to the beach where Sam was surrounded by enemies. After an intense battle involving explosions and close calls, the team finally reunited. Despite some injuries including bullet grazes, everyone survived. A crucial decision point was reached, whether to escape the island or pursue a shortcut to Avery's treasure hidden under a mountain. The discovery of Avery's map revealed the treasure ship's location under a mountain. This sparked debate about whether to pursue it or leave safely. Discussion centered on the dangers of obsession and knowing when to quit versus seizing the opportunity they had worked so long for. A tense moment unfolded at a sky rail platform when Sam decided to break away from the group. Despite pleas to return, he chose to continue pursuing the treasure alone, forcing others to either follow or let him go. This split-second decision would have major consequences. The pursuit of Sam led through treacherous terrain toward the mountain. Following footprints and clues while navigating extremely dangerous passages, the chase continued with determination despite the extreme risks involved. Finally, Avery's legendary ship came into view, hidden within the mountain. A tense escape sequence occurs with someone making their way down a dangerous path while narrowly avoiding disaster. There is uncertainty about whether someone named Sam actually completed this treacherous descent or found an easier route down. A situation unfolds where Sam steals a boat and heads toward a ship. While some want to pursue, others express that they are done with the situation, noting significant casualties among their team members and dangerous conditions in a rigged cave system. A heated argument breaks out about walking away from potential historical discovery versus securing their lives and the gold they already have. The discussion reveals tensions about loyalty and earned rewards, leading to a confrontation about finishing their mission. The group discovers a significant treasure, leading to a tense situation involving Sam. Rafe becomes confrontational, refusing to let anyone leave despite the dangerous circumstances. Nadine demonstrates her distrust of the situation by demanding weapons be surrendered. A crucial discovery reveals the skeletons of Avery and another person who killed each other over the treasure. This revelation prompts Nadine to abandon the operation, leaving others trapped inside. She warns that everyone obsessed with the treasure meets a similar fate. The situation escalates into a confrontation where past accomplishments and legends are discussed. Tensions rise as personal insults and threats are exchanged, leading to a dangerous standoff between the remaining parties. A dramatic rescue attempt occurs as someone tries to free a trapped companion. Despite multiple attempts, the situation seems hopeless until an alternative solution presents itself, leading to a risky but successful escape plan. The aftermath includes emotional goodbyes and future plans being discussed. Stories are shared and relationships are affirmed. Some choose to move on while others struggle with feelings of emptiness despite achieving their goals. Future opportunities are discussed, including potential business deals and partnerships. The conversation reveals how different individuals plan to move forward with their lives after their shared adventure. A discussion occurs about making a wise investment in Jameson Marine. The deal seems legitimate, but requires careful consideration before proceeding. The conversation reflects the importance of making sound business decisions while maintaining proper due diligence. A rumor about a salvage job off the Malaysian coast emerges as a potential business opportunity. Despite concerns about past dangerous experiences in Libertalia, this venture appears to be fully legal, backed by proper permits from Malaysian authorities without requiring any bribes. Financial concerns are addressed when a significant amount of money is discovered, previously hidden in a jacket pocket. This unexpected financial boost makes the Malaysian venture more feasible, especially considering the additional expenses for new camera equipment. Plans develop to document the salvage operation by hiring a small crew and filming the entire process. This would enable the resurrection of a previous show, combining adventure with legitimate business practices. The focus shifts from leading a normal life to pursuing exciting opportunities. The well-thought-out plan receives support, though with some playful negotiation about handling paperwork responsibilities. A compromise is reached through a friendly competition, showing the positive dynamic between the parties involved. The scene transitions to exploring personal memories and artifacts, including old photographs and music collections. This nostalgic moment provides insight into family connections and past experiences that shaped current circumstances. Discovery of historical artifacts, including a Spanish doubloon from the 16th century, and items connected to Henry Avery's Gunsway heist, leads to deeper investigation. These findings suggest a connection to significant historical events and treasure hunting activities. A family conversation begins about revealing past adventures and experiences. The discovery of hidden treasures and photographs prompts important discussions about sharing family history and past activities with younger generations. The story unfolds about a past adventure involving the search for Sir Francis Drake's coffin, encounters with Indonesian pirates, and the discovery of a journal containing a map to El Dorado. Rather than finding the legendary city of gold, they discovered a cursed statue, setting up for more incredible tales to come.